So for now, let me go ahead and create a table notepad file which has data in it. So let me just get this up. Okay, I don't know. So this was one of our output files that we used in our previous sessions. Let me do one thing, go ahead and use two of these. Let's copy this 3 records. We already have John in our, then go ahead and copy the header. What do we want? We want an ID here. So let me pass this as ID, the ID be 125 and then 126. Okay, I'll just take this 2 records and I'll just take 2 columns. Let me delete all of this. Okay, so now our file is ready. So the idea is we want to read these 2 records, Robin and Robert, with 1 to 5 as 1 to 6 as IDs respectively. And we want to write these 2 records to our employee underscore table database table that is there in our Talend database. And we're doing this in our MySQL workbench. I think the requirement or the idea or the use case is pretty much clear and simple. Let's go ahead and save this. I would like to save this in our Talend location. So let me go ahead and save this as in sample data, and let me give this as tab underscore input. Okay, this is a normal text file. Copy this path. I'm saving this up here and this is my path. So let's come back to our studio and create a T input file delimited component. T file input delimited, and let's read this data. So let me choose the path where I have given my input data. So it's there in the sample data, and file name is tab input, and it's a text file. It's a pipe delimited, and it has one header record and no footer, and there's no limit. So I want to read this. And what's the schema? Schema of this is, okay, let me show you something here. So because I've already defined schema for the TDB output, I'll not pass the schema. Then I'll simply say row main and then connect me to this. Because we did not specify the schema in the input component, it's asking if you want to get the schema of the target component. That's nothing but TDB write, or the TDB output with which we are trying to write the data to our table. Okay, I would say yes. So if you see here, now if you click on this, you can see that you have the schema similar to the TDB output. Let me click on OK. Now come back. Everything looks good for me. The idea is we want to read the input file that we have created just now, and we want to pass this to TDB output component, which would write or which would append or which would insert the data in the table that we have mentioned using this connection properties that we have defined here. All right, let me go ahead and run this. This is our previous output. Clear it up and run. Yes, the job is successfully completed. You see there is no error that we have here. The exit code is 0. There are no issues. Everything is fine. Let me go ahead and run and see if I have the data inserted in our table. Well, you don't see the data. Do you know what is the issue? Think about it. Everything looks good, right? I mean, as in you have read the data, you have passed it to the output, and the job is successfully completed. What is something that is missing here? Well, so the issue here is we have a component missing. That is nothing but MySQL commit. Since we don't have the commit option, The job is successfully completed, but the transaction is not successfully committed. So that is why we are not able to see the data when we do a select query in the table. So let's go ahead and do this. To the commit, let's customize this. I'll take the connection and clear it and let's run it. Yes, we see the job is successfully completed and the commit is also done. Let's go ahead and query the data. There you see, we have the new records, the Robin and Robert with record employee IDs as 1 to 5 and 1 to 6 successfully inserted in our employee table using our talent job. Okay, now I think the idea is pretty much clear. We have read records from an input data file and we have inserted the records using a TDB output component for MySQL table. We have passed the table name and we have given the schema and we have committed the transaction.